flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yep.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is cart hasn't even been touched yet. Welcome in everybody yet again to another stream. Going to be Jobin and Adam. Going to have some Call of Duty Academy on the docket today. How are you feeling, man?
Feeling good. I'm excited to see the Academy team get some COD action here, at least on our stream. You know, the varsity team, they keep getting snatched up by those other streams. But, you know, they're doing a good job. They're just the same.
Yeah.
So
Varsity right now, I believe they either just finished off a 3-0 against Old Dominion or they were en route. They were up like 21-3 in a control match. So Varsity taking care of business tonight. League of Legends also looked like they were taking care of business over in the Nexus as well. So every team so far having a lot of success. But we are talking about Academy today. And before we get into things, we are going to cut to a very quick interview I did with KMC Plays. I think it's like the captain of the COD Academy team and one of like the main players for it as well. So we'll hear a couple words from her as we go through over in a second here. Welcome all Saints fans. We're going to have another interview for you guys today. We are going to have a member of the Saints Call of Duty Academy team going to be here today. So I'll let you introduce yourself. You know, give us your name, your gamer tag, what we might see you as in game, and a little bit of info about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kate Carney, and I go by KMC Plays. I'm the main AR for Saints Academy. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Also, I know I asked you earlier. You said you were new to St. Clair this year. So, what has the Call of Duty, like the Academy, like collegiate life been like so far? You know, the experience as a whole. You know, having scrims all the time, playing in matches on stream, and everything like that. Like, what's kind of the experience been like so far?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. I mean, the environment here is unmatched compared to anywhere else, and it's really just pushed me to go way harder in every single match. Every match in Scrim, we're just trying 100% and trying to be the best players we can be. Yeah. And I think this is a great environment to be in for that.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely agree. And I guess we'll go a little bit of how you got here as well. I asked you just before the interview here, but what was kind of like your road to getting to St. Clair and, you know, now getting to experience all this? Like, how did you start out maybe a couple years back, you know, getting into everything?
Yeah, I mean, a couple years ago, I was just playing Call of Duty for fun. And then my friend was like, oh, you're pretty good. And he's like, oh, you should try out for like a college team. I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. But I went anyway. And I didn't do well at all, but I found my passion there, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I kept trying and trying, and then for the past like 3 years, I've just been grinding and trying to be the best player. And then I reached out to St. Clair and had a tryout, and now I'm here. Yeah,
that's awesome to hear. We hear a ton of stories like that this year, but definitely really good to hear that. And I guess we'll go into the game side of things. Now, we noticed usually we see varsity play. It's always Tuscan and Berlin. Why do you guys decide to, you know, choose different maps or use anything like that as well?
Yeah, we're one of the faster teams in our league, so we can use that to our advantage in Bocage. Whereas like a bigger map like Berlin or Tuscan, we have to use a lot of strategy. We have those in our back pocket, but we're just saving those for championships.
Yeah. Okay, and I know we have a lot of high expectations for a lot of the teams there at St. Clair, but I'd say what are general expectations both for NJ and the NACE, the only two leagues you guys are playing in, right?
Yeah, so right now in NJ, we're projected first. Last week, we were projected 7th, and then we beat the reigning champions. Yeah. So that's obviously a great way to start a season. For NACE right now, we're on track to qualify for playoffs. As of tonight, if we win tonight, we can actually qualify for playoffs.
Okay.
So I think we have 2 really good seasons ahead of us.
Yeah.
And then we're just looking forward to those championship games and practicing for when it matters the most.
Yeah, like I said, 2 more little quick questions here. Obviously, expectations for tonight then must be a win if you're assuming you're going to go on and do things. So I guess for tonight, we're expecting a big win out of it, all things considered here.
Yeah, we're expecting a 3-0 or 3-1. I mean, we've seen the other team play. They obviously have their good players and good strategies, so we're not sleeping on anyone. We're just going to go out there, and we know that if we're playing 100%, then we can get our win. And anything less than that, I'm just going to be disappointed.
Okay, perfect. Then I get one final thought. Anything you want to say, free speech the next like 10 seconds. What do you want to say to any fans or anyone out there that might be watching this or paying attention?
So number one, I just want to say like St. Clair is the best in Canada for esports. So if you're in Canada and you like esports, come here.
All right, I think that's all we need to leave off with. Thank you so much at KMC Plays, Call of Duty Academy, and we'll catch you guys for another interview hopefully sometime soon. And thank you to Kay for that amazing interview. Hopefully, as the season goes on, we're going to get more. I'm going to drag as many players into this room as possible, you know, try to get some info, try to, you know, get awareness of what the players and who's actually playing behind the stream all these times. So really happy to hear those words and hear that pretty high expectations for all the teams overall. And that seems to be the consistent, you know, thing for us here at St. Clair. We want to, you know, strive for success, try to build up as good as we can here. So great words from KMC. And I think we'll go over a little housekeeping. I think St. Clair is going to be 2-1 on the day, and they're going to be playing against Iowa State University, who's coming in at 1-2 in NACE. So both teams, you know, they've had a little bit of success and struggles, but they're trying to find, you know, get up another peg on the ladder here.
Exactly. And I think especially because we get this opportunity to sort of look at the academy teams as well, it's just a good showcase for what the teams have in store. Really curious to see if they can have a little bit of a stronger performance even from the last time we saw academy, where they quite literally went the distance of that match that they had. I believe that was in NJ, but nonetheless, it's always interesting to see these different teams come through, and we get a better scope of what is going on with all of our teams, and it's always such a pleasure to be able to just get as many people on stream as possible.
And I think because of I think Vanguard and MW2 are actually going to have like a switch over mid-season, so I believe if they win today, based on what KMC said, they are going to qualify for the playoffs, because I believe they're going to play it out through the end of October, and then obviously I call it the Modern Warfare 2 waiting room when we go on Vanguard, but because that's coming up in a month. So I think this is actually a pretty big game for them in NACE. We obviously know competition is very, very stiff most of the time in every single league, so should be a very, very good matchup. But in usual Vanguard fashion, the lobby not quite ready yet, so we are going to throw it to a very, very quick break, and fingers crossed the game works on the other side.
Looks like they're setting up for this B hit, and there are already 2 picks coming out from the Saints.
Yeah, a setup it was. They're going to find a third there. Multiple members getting involved. Rocket going to get taken out there, so now we're down to the 4v2. We got RD whipping Domingo, trying to make some kind of play here. Smoke is going to go through. I believe Amali's going to go through as well. Mig once again going to find that pick, and now all on Domingo with this off, so he is going to get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything getting ready from the Saints, but they're just shift walking it all the way towards Hearing Gleamer in the back of JBH. Rocket, you're here to shoot these out, and you find
It's really going to not allow Wayland to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freelo for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill onto Waifu there, and now Squeak once again just W-keying with this Reinhardt, taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Gonna find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now up to Sepias and supports, both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them, so they're gonna love this start, and they're gonna watch these plays back and be in love with it.
Yeah, and seeing that Baptiste at the end,
he feels comfortable in any single role, and the Saints are gonna use it, and the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Wayland to start things off.
yeah, with a Symmetra choice on the side of the Saints, which we haven't seen that done.
The sim, you know, it's just like focus sim turret, that's all the comms are, so
yeah,
you understand how frustrating it is to play against, and especially on a start like this, you just get that free turret damage or the free laser damage right off the door, and then you basically just play back to your backline, and their backline has been flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yep.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is Crime. The cart hasn't even been touched yet. Crime finding every headshot right now. Going to be a little Widow on Widow Crime, so to speak there, and he cannot be stopped right now in this backline. And Wayland, I'm not sure exactly what you try to swap through or what play you try to make, but you got to dig deep in the bag for something here, because they haven't found a single thing so far. And look at the Symmetra damage just burning through the side of Wayland. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you said, there's with no second tank.
These headshots, Emran is going to find the first pick, but that Moira Orb going to come back to get him, so nice little one-for-one trade. We're going to see Silver on the Orisa now, so I think a much better frontlining tank pick. You get the deflect. The rework for Orisa made Orisa one of the strongest tanks in the entire game. You get the Fortify with the gold armor, you get the deflect. Yeah. The ultimate has much more value than it did before as far as like team fighting and everything. Heisenberg can end up off the map there, I believe, probably at Lucio's hands, and the Saints, they're going to wipe this one out. Red X is going to find 3 on the triple, and the Saints, just like that, they're going to clean that one.
Getting 1 or 2 seconds on the site before somebody's coming to contest it, and with that, they found themselves a nice 20-point lead here, as the Saints are going to start swarming this hard point, but now the Samsons got full control. Saints are going to have to respawn and set up another push. Not if KMC is just out shooting them. Headshots go a little wide there on Uper. Now KMC forced to regen.
Perfect grenade. Wow. Absolute 2 grenades, actually both of them. I was rare can find like 1 or 2 frags, and that's gonna hurt you really pretty bad. Their smoke show is going to be the one to fall as well. So now all on Uper, Griff and Guard Dog trying to hold off Griff. Gonna find the kill on KMC. Now Sway gonna trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi gonna swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC gonna follow, find that AR kill, gonna push up to the point now. They're gonna get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're gonna find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this B point. I think Samsons are too far off to contest, and the frags are going to come through, and the Saints, they are going to walk away. They are going to get the capture, and they're going to win Gava 2 second time around.
Wow, they find...
Honestly, even if you give away your spot, you're going to have time to reposition. Audi going to whiff the first shot. We'll find the kill. Wow, movement galore. Going to...
think just about every angle being held here. Avex not looking, though. Kayu's now in behind. Gets one on Havex, the second. Smoothies with a kill at the exact same time on Torchway. Trademark is going to be popped. Not going to slow anyone, however, as taken down Kayu with an absolute spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots.
Moody's to take down to 1. If the Saints can maybe try to make a play. Kayu finding his 3rd. He's going to find 4. Can he find the ace? Only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Taupe with 30 HP. Kayu trying to find it. Going to spray through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a... break, everybody. We are going to be back into the game now. Going to be Bocage hardpoint to kick things off. Saints Academy taking on Iowa State University, and we are about to get underway.
Yeah, curious to see how this one goes, of course. Opening up on Bocage. I believe the second map's going to be on Bocage as well.
Yeah.
Already a couple kills coming through, getting traded back. You know, usual stuff where hardpoint just going to be chaos, as always.
Yeah, Call of Duty, chaos is definitely the right word. It's just pretty much non-stop action, look left and right, as much G Fuel as you can put in your system to follow the game, and then let the players ride it out from there. And so far, you're going to see Iowa State with a slight advantage. They do get the first hard point, find a couple of frags as well, so decent little start, but nothing too crazy popping off so far.
Yeah, it just seems like it's going to get recontrolled here by Saints Academy, but once again, just getting that for that 1 second, getting a couple points. We'll see if they can potentially regroup and recharge here. Maybe just a little bit of the jitter starting off on this map.
Yeah, and sometimes some of the points can be a little bit trickier to take if you lose like the first couple fights there, so you might want to just play for that second point, try to get those tick points. And at least they have gotten to contest for a while, so only going to be down 16-4 going on to point 2. Not going to be too mad about that one. The kills have been very back and forth, so both teams not really finding the edge as far as frags quite yet.
Yeah, and looking at the rosters, actually, we got KMC, as we were talking about, we've got Sway, GMG, and Koala for the side of Saints Academy. On the flip side, Patty, Verbose, BJ Daly, and Crime8 there, so going over those as, yeah, seems like Academy's starting to take control at this point as the points start to rack up a little bit more here.
Gonna see Sway find one, gonna get traded up by Daly there. Daly gonna flick to the side there, but GMG and KMC gonna find a couple kills there, so the Saints gonna keep control of this point for the time being. They're actually gonna step off the point for now, so now gonna regain, try to get that contest. They're gonna get 3 frags back to back there, so getting a little bit of a team wipe there on Ottawa, and they are gonna get this point and get some ticks up here.
Yeah, they'll start to build it up a little bit, but you can see K just playing so aggressively here, just running through these houses, finding as many frags as possible. Always good to see that aggression come through, especially when you've got control of that point. You want to keep that going, as we see Koala, you got to fall down there as well. Sway trying to find their angle on this one, but with this point starting to switch over, they've got to try and reestablish that control on the next point.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I love about it's most of our Saints teams, but at Call of Duty especially, they are so aggressive and they love to just W key, get in people's faces. If you saw Overwatch yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. So we see a lot of the Saints teams, they like to put that pressure on, put a pace on people, and they think they can, grind teams down, especially as the game goes longer and longer. But Iowa State could be back in this one for the time being. They're gonna have control of the point. KMC going to find a frag there. A couple members of Iowa State are going to be down right now. Saints are going to get a little bit of a cleanup, and they're just now going to regain the point, though.
Just going to be able to get a couple more points on that one. Still half a minute on the point, so they still got some time to work with here. But obviously, as you can see, it's just all about this momentum. Every single time they're able to get 2-3 frags in a row, you get a whole bunch of points in your favor. And for Iowa State, they looked really good on that first point, but since then, they haven't really been able to collect themselves together and push as a team in a sense.
Yeah, Koala is going to get taken down there, so the Saints going to drop a couple frags there. We are going to see Sway early on 12-6, and we are seeing a couple streaks to the side of the Saints, so KMC might be able to get something online here sooner than later, and we see GMG and Sway as well starting to slowly build up those streaks, trying to get something going here, and they have locked down this point. They have not let Iowa State pretty much do anything on this barn point.
Yeah, you can see Koala sort of acting as a scout in this situation, being okay with the one to go down, just figuring out where everyone is from the side of Iowa State. And they haven't really been able to get back control of a point for longer than 5-10 seconds at a time here. So Iowa State starting to fall by the wayside here, and you can see streaks coming up plenty on the side of Saints Academy.
Yeah, the streaks are starting to build. Every single member now on a streak. We're going to see GMG on a 6 streak and KMC onto a 7. Look at a 7, a 6, and a 6. The Saints, they might have a pocket full of goodies here in just a minute or two. They're going to try to find these last kills. Oh, Sway going to find 2 out of the doors. Beautiful play, and Koala going to find the 3rd there. Iowa State getting cleaned up, and these streaks live on for the Saints. Sway almost on a double-digit streak, up to 9 now at this point in the game.
And as we say
Oh,
that,
just hit the 10.
we cast the curse that at that, drops the streak right there. But as they just start to move over to the next point, they're saying we're going to give up that last 5-10 seconds of this point. We don't really care as much. Iowa State needs to sort of force that down, get as many points as possible, but at the same time, starting to get a little bit more momentum their way. But on the new hard point, once again, Saints Academy establishing control. They're already up about 85 points in this one.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good about this one, and like we said, they got a couple streaks sitting in those back pockets. Once you get to a 10 streak, you've gotten every streak possible in Vanguard. There's nothing, everything else is like G8 or banned out. So they've got max streaks there. They got them in the back pocket, just trying to find that right time to use it. And right now, they're not really getting pressured too hardcore here, so they can kind of ride this out and decide when to drop the bombs on them.
Yeah, it seems like Iowa State just trying to find some sort of collaborated effort, but even then, doesn't matter because Koala just sniping someone out from the side. There's really no coordination, it feels like, coming through from Iowa. Sort of as their team name suggests, the Cyclones are just sort of whirling around trying to find whatever they can, but the Saints holding strong on this point. But gonna drop for a little bit here as, oh, never mind. That happens again.
Yeah, KMC gonna answer the call right there and gonna shut it down. And yeah, that's the weird thing with Call of Duty is that by far it looks like the most puggy game. Everyone looks like they're kind of doing their own thing out there, but obviously there's a level of coordination and like teamwork that has to go into it, especially playing around these hard points. And sometimes you can kind of get lost and forget you're not like in a solo queue game and just trying to run around and get those frags. So it can be very, very difficult to group up with the Saints. Gonna fall back. Iowa State doing a really good job controlling the area of the hard point, but not gonna find the capture. But Crimate and Verbose gonna find a couple there. They're gonna knock down 3, and Iowa State now gonna get back on this point and chip into this triple-digit lead.
Yeah, you can see just trying to work it down. Patty actually getting on a little bit of a streak here as well with 3 of their own. And of course, Koala just going to reply with one on the Verbose. And there goes the streak. Yeah, every single time we say something in COD, it always just flips the other way as quickly as possible. Now, they're just re-establishing that 3-digit lead that they had.
Yeah, I think Sway just found a 3-piece as well, so doing excellent work off screen there. It's going to be up to 23-11, and look at KMC just frying back-to-back. They're going to find an easy 2-piece, and the Saints are in full control of this game so far. They're going to touch on the hard point again. Yet again, going to find a couple frags. Sway going to get sought out there in the corner. Will get taken out by BJ Daly. Now the Saints have over a triple-digit lead. We're going to hear some bombs dropping from the sky. Can they find anything? It sounds like they're actually going to find 2, including a teammate. So KMC going to put those streaks to extra work, and Iowa State going to trade out a couple kills after the fact.
Oh, just for the cause, sometimes you just got to give one up, and then at that they fall.
We need one team kill game in COD.
Exactly.
It's usually a grenade, but we'll take the glide ball.
Yeah, of course. The Karma sort of striking back so they get caught up with Koala, picking up a bunch of kills here. Alright, a 5 streak once again for themselves. Still contesting this hard point. Just keeping Iowa State below 100 points. This is always good to see coming through from the Saints, especially early on in these series. Hard point always one that you want to get that control of, so you can sort of set the tempo for the rest of the series.
Yeah, if you can take a really huge lead in hard point, you only need to play like 15-20 ticks off the remaining 6 to 7 points. If you're playing the long game and you're still going to walk away, the Saints, they're more than happy to trade 10 for 10 right now. They're going to end up winning the game 250 to like 120 or something like that, or 140. So they're more than happy to take these trades. Iowa State trying to mount this comeback, though. We are going to see, I think Koala streak did finally get shut down there, and we're going to see Sway and KMC both above 20 frags right now, doing a boatload of work in Sway, trying to hold this build in control, and now we're going to hear a lull in the action.
Something rare, we want to say, in a hard point.
Longest time without a bullet I've ever seen.
As we say that once again, Sway finds a couple, but, just sort of biding their time, not really feeling rushed to push down onto a hard point they don't really have control of, but Sway collects 4 in a row there, it feels. And this hard point just going in control of St. Clair. Not sure if they have quite enough time to clear this one out, but they're going to do a lot of damage to the side of I-State. Yeah,
and if I didn't use the Houseway reference last week already, I would have used it again for this time. Going to be up to 31-16 now. Is going to find that team kill a second ago. And now KMC once again just locking down this backline. Verbose going to find a couple of headshots. So Iowa State trying to get some momentum now, but momentum has been far and few between. The Saints are slowly starting to roll this game away. And Sway, once again, the movement, it looks like Sway is playing on 2x speed and the other players just cannot keep up.
Yeah, I just completely on a different level at this point. Just every single frag you're getting, consistently pushing themselves further forward here. Of course, will let I-State get up to that 100-point margin, but even still, not anywhere close at this point. It's starting to look a little bit worse for wear. And with this next hard point coming through, 32 seconds out of it, they've got to hold it. So we'll see if they are able to close it out on this next hard point.
And the one thing you love to see for the Saints, obviously Koala going to be that anchor on the objective. You want to have like your set objective player usually, but all members now creeping up on a minute's worth of objective time. So every team member willing, throw their butt on that hard point. Maybe not go for the frags, try to find the streaks, just sit down, get that control time, and then try to play off the frags otherwise. But look, it's Koala and GMG just getting it done. BJ Daly is going to find a couple of those, so Iowa State, once again, trying to inch their way back into it, but they still haven't controlled this point yet, and the Saints now just need about single digits to win here once they get back on touch here.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's just a 4-pronged attack every single time here coming through from St. Clair, always sort of on the same page. might end up getting held off just for a little bit longer. We'll see if they can collect it on this point. Seems like they might have it here. You know, only 8-7 seconds left here, but keeps trading back and forth. It's impossible to tell.
That's the thing for the Saints, though. They're more than happy to take these trades because, as we said earlier, they only need 6 points now, so they've been trading away on those points. All they need to do is get those 2 frags to clear sight and then just go take that point right away. And we're going to hear another glide bomb coming in here. Maybe you're going to find some value on this outdoor point. Not going to find anything, but maybe, you know, it's a zoning streak. Saints are going to walk away with map 1 there on Bocage, I believe, on hard point. So pretty dominant win. Nothing, not too many mistakes that were clear to be made there by the Saints, but now we have to obviously go to the next map.
And of course, I think main thing to point out at the end is there's like, they don't really care if they're giving over the last 8, 10, 12, 14 seconds of that point. They can just go over to the next one because iState are on backs against the wall. They can't really contest the next one down the line. But as you can see, Sway having a really fantastic performance here on the hard point to open us out. And always good to see everyone sort of performing there. You know, as you mentioned, everyone on the objectives, everyone in double-digit frags as well. Yeah,
it's good to see always when a player likes to, you know, not talk some crap, you know, have a very high-spirited before a match and, you know, come in and try to, you know, fill it in and go make good of their word and everything. So great job there. KMC and Sway dropping above 35 frags there, I believe. So excellent job by the Saints overall to take that map 1. And obviously they predicted the 3-0 earlier, and that's a very, very good start to be on your way.
Exactly, and I think if we can actually get a look at the maps now, we can get a little bit more of a gauge of what we're expecting here. Of course, didn't get to do it beforehand, but Bocage first map.
COD actually worked first try.
Yeah, it worked.
We weren't ready.
Yeah, we weren't ready for it, but seems like they are going back to Bocage here for S&D. But after that, Tuscan on control. I believe that's Gavitu on hard point once again, and then Tuscan again for S&D if we get to game 5. But honestly, after that hard point, it's looking pretty good for Academy. Yeah,
and we're not going to see any Berlin. That's what the Academy players earlier. We said KMC, we heard her say they don't really, you know, they like to play the off-meta maps a little bit. You know, they have a little trick up their sleeve, and not a lot of teams like to scrim those maps as often. So great job by them in map 1, but we are going to throw it to a very, very short break, and we'll be back on the exact same map, different game mode after the break.
The rosters, actually, we got KMC, as we were talking about, we've got Sway, GMG, and Koala for the side of Saints Academy. On the flip side, Patty, Verbose, BJ Daly, and Crime8 there. So going over those as, seems like Academy's starting to take control at this point as the points start to rack up a little bit more here.
Gonna see Sway find one. Gonna get traded up by Daly there. Daly gonna flick to the side there, but GMG and KMC gonna find a couple kills there. So the Saints gonna keep control of this point for the time being. They're actually gonna step off the point for now. So now gonna regain, try to get that, regain the point though.
Just gonna be able to get a couple more points on that one. You know, still half a minute on the point, so they've still got some time to work with here. But obviously, as you can see, it's just all about this momentum. Every single time they're able to get 2-3 frags in a row, you get a whole bunch of points in your favor. And for Iowa State, they looked really good on that first point, but since then they haven't really been able to collect themselves together and push as a team in a sense.
Yeah, Koala is going to get taken down there, so the Saints going to drop a couple frags. Now we are going to see Sway early on 12 and 6, and we are seeing a couple streaks to the side of the Saints.
Being okay with the one to go down, just figuring out where everyone is from the side of Iowa State. They haven't really been able to get back control of a point for longer than 5-10 seconds at a time here. So Iowa State starting to fall by the wayside here, and you can see streaks coming up plenty on the side of Saints Academy.
Yeah, the streaks are starting to build. Every single member now on a streak. We're going to see GMG on a 6 streak and KMC onto a 7. Look at a 7, a 6, and a 6. The Saints, they might have a pocket full of goodies here in just a minute or two. They're going to try to find these last kills. Oh, Sway going to find 2 out of the doors. Beautiful play, and Koala going to find the capture, but Crime8 and Verbose going to find a couple there. They're going to knock down 3, and Iowa State now going to get back on this point and chip into this triple-digit lead.
Yeah, you can see just trying to work it down. Patty actually getting on a little bit of a streak here as well with 3 of their own. And of course, Koala just going to reply with one onto Verbose. And there goes the streak. Yeah, every single time we say something in COD, it always just flips the other way as quickly as possible. Now, they're just re-establishing that 3-digit lead that they had. Yeah,
I think Sway just found a 3-piece as well, so doing excellent work off screen there. It's going to be up to 23 and 11, and look at KMC just frying back.
3-digit lead that they had.
Yeah, I think Sway just found a 3-piece as well, so doing excellent work off screen there. It's going to be up to 23 and 11, and look at KMC just frying back to back. They're going to find an easy 2-piece, and the Saints are in full control of this game so far. They're going to touch on the hard point again, yet again going to find a couple frags. Sway going to get sought out there in the corner, will get taken out by BJ Daly. Now the Saints have over a triple-digit lead. We're going to hear some bombs dropping from the sky. Can they find anything? It sounds like they're actually going to find 2, including a teammate. So KMC going to put those streaks to extra work, and they're more than happy to trade 10 for 10 right now. They're going to end up winning the game 250 to like 120 or something like that, so or 140. So they're more than happy to take these trades. Iowa State trying to mount this comeback though. We are going to see, I think Koala streak did finally get shut down there, and we're going to see Sway and KMC both above 20 frags right now, doing a boatload of work in Sway, trying to hold this build in control. And now we're going to hear a lull in the action.
Something rare, we want to say, in a hard point.
Longest time without a bullet I've ever seen.
As we say that once again, so he finds a couple, but, you know,
Like 120 or something like that, so, or 140. So they're more than happy to take these trades. Iowa State trying to mount this comeback, though. We are going to see, I think Koala Streak did finally get shut down there, and we're going to see Sway and KMC both above 20 frags right now, doing a boatload of work in Sway. Trying to hold this build in control, and now we're going to hear a lull in the action.
something rare, we want to say, in a hard point.
Longest time without a bullet I've ever seen.
As we say that once again, so he finds a couple, but, you know, just sort of biding their time, not really feeling rushed to push down onto a hard point they don't really have control of.
Trying to inch their way back into it, but they still haven't controlled this point yet, and the Saints now just need about single digits to win here once they get back on touch here.
Yeah, of course. I think it's just a four-pronged attack every single time here coming through from Saint. They're always sort of on the same page. Might end up getting held off just for a little bit longer. We'll see if they can collect it on this point. Seems like they might have it here. You know, only 8-7 seconds left here, but keeps trading back and forth. It's impossible to tell.
That's the thing for the Saints, though. They're more than happy to take these.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rosters, actually, we got KMC, as we were talking about. We've got Sway, GMG, and Koala for the side of Saints Academy. On the flip side, Patty, Verbose, BJ Daly, and Crime8 there, so going over those as, yeah, seems like Academy's starting to take control at this point as the points start to rack up a little bit more here.
Gonna see Sway find one, gonna get traded up by Daly there. Daly gonna flick to the side there, but GMG and KMC gonna find a couple kills there, so the Saints gonna keep control of this point for the time being. They're actually gonna step off the point for now, so now gonna regain, try to get back, regain the point though.
Just gonna be able to get a couple more points on that one, you know. Still half a minute on the point, so they've still got some time to work with here, but obviously, as you can see, it's just all about this momentum every single time.
Welcome back in from that very short break. We are going to be in with map 2. The game only took 2 tries to get in this time, so the break wasn't as long as normal, but we are happy to be in it now. Search and destroy on Bocage here, and Saints looking to make this 2-0, and Iowa State looking to crawl back in this one.
Yeah, of course, always a slower game mode this time around. Oh my goodness, Koala going to get caught out there by Crime8. Just to start it out. So, as always, it's interesting to see the differences that happens on S&D here because it's a little bit slower, you know, holding angles a little bit more prevalent as well as just, you know, overall strategy, it feels. Yeah,
I think that's why Crime8 running up that quickly probably surprised Koala because usually, you know, you're not going to run and gun and face check people with only 1 life alive on the board. So, really good job by Iowa State, you know, be the aggressor, try to find that first pick. Now we've got Daly trying to hold that crossfire. Crime8 is going to walk up. He is going to get dropped off by Sway, though. Now into a 3v3.
Yeah, and I say just taking their time, going as methodically as possible, it feels, you know, just tossing through the nades as well. They're just trying to clear out as much space as possible, but even then, all of these angles being held, even on the attacking side here, as you can see, Daly just sort of holding the line as much as possible, but let's see what the next pin to fall is. It's always a matter of, you know, when are they actually going to start to kick forward the action? It feels like around 20 seconds, that's when you got to pick up the pace a little bit.
The Saints, they did find a couple frags, though. They're going to find back-to-back picks there, and they're going to walk away. They lost first blood, but they recovered, they regained, and they're going to take that round fairly easily, all things considered.
Yeah, basically just 3 at a time. They're falling all at the same time, and Patty just no chance at that one. Sway able to pick up 2 of their own, and now swapping sides. We'll see how St. Clair opt to go on the attack here. Always interesting to see the differing strategies at this, of course. On a map like Bocage, it's pretty standard, you know.
Yeah, there's only, on most of the maps, there's usually like 1 or 2 plant spots. The game, it lacks creativity, but, you know, it's about, like, getting down the system and being efficient within the few systems that are in the game. And the Saints, you know, can see exactly what you said. What kind of strategy do you want to go for that rush plant? Just try to find those frags or what they will have in mind here. But they are going to run up on A really early, but great angle through Crime8, going to aim through the door. Sway is going to find that trade, though, and he's going to get picked off as well. So Iowa State reading that play pretty well there from the Saints.
Yeah, just sort of shooting through a hole in the door there, just able to get a bunch of foot shots there. You know, whatever works at the end of the day.
Siege.
Yeah, but as you can see, flipping it all around once again. KMC 4th streak going for him. It's a 2v1. Should be able to get this plant down without too much issue, and it's really up to Daly here to hold the line if possible. Once again, going to be a tough call.
Yeah, 1v2's in Carter, not easy. It's going to get tagged up because as soon as they hear a single footstep, it's pretty much blood in the water. Play for the plant or play for the kill. They will do just that, and the Saints now going to walk away 2-0 just to kick things off here.
And it always seems as if Iowa State are able to put up some sort of effort, you know, mid-round, just picking up a couple of frags, but every single time it's the beginning and the end that just sort of has decisiveness coming through from St. Clair, and we'll see if they can continue that trend on defense here.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what kind of positions people want to take up, or where they kind of make their way around the map as the round goes on. Because we see the Saints, they like to run, man. They're getting those miles, and they got, you know, Marathon Pro on all those kits. They like to run around and get stuff done. So we'll see what they want to do. They do have the you know, pretty decent advantage now. So want to see if they like to play a little more aggressive, or, you know, to try to play safe and bank this one.
at the very least, sometimes, you know, teams are better on one side or the other as Crime picks up first blood once again, but sometimes that can just be a case where you trade back and forth, you know, everyone's holding on defense, but this time around, Iowa State getting a better attacking round. K going to be the last one alive. 1v4, but, you know, Saints have an affinity for these. We've seen a couple of them in the last couple of weeks.
I was going to say, I believe we actually saw 1 or 2 of these in the last stream, so I'm not going to rule it out. I think last time I doubted it, and maybe she heard me, and, you know, I was like, okay, watch this, so not going to say it's dead just yet, but I will say it is dead now. Iowa State going to walk away with, I believe, a flawless round there, so they're going to get right back in this game and take one off St. Clair.
Yeah, of course. Cast a curse, can't go without it.
Of course.
Every single time. I think this game especially, you just say anything and the opposite happens.
Yeah.
Can't move so quickly, but of course, Iowa State going to be able to get one on the board. We'll see if St. Clair are able to keep their lead here, or, you know, if Iowa State have a little bit more momentum in their favor.
Yeah, we are going to see KMC and Sway having about 90% of the frags for St. Clair, so they definitely want to try to even those out, make sure everyone starts to pop off, and we're going to see Crymate. That early aggression has paid off pretty well for Iowa State. I think they found 2 first bloods, just pretty much dead sprint to get into St. Clair's spawn, and honestly, if you can catch them off guard a couple times, why not do it? And GMG and KMC going to be linked up. They are going to find that grenade tag, so Iowa State maybe got some info now. We'll have to see who will end up falling first.
I want to keep my eyes on where Crymate is as well, because, you know, they're always taking these sort of off angles here.
Yeah,
look at that,
precisely.
once again, picking up a first blood.
Yeah, the Saints just haven't seemed to lock down that backline yet. Now Patty able to work through the front there. Going to be caught reloading though, so KMC going to find that kill. I think he hears on the other side of the tank, but not going to commit. He's going to get shot up. Just going to go head for the hills at this point. Going to lay down in that tunnel. Might be able to actually find this frag. Is going to do so. Oh, not exactly. I've cut off my words there with Sway. Luckily there to get the finish there. So great job by KMC to just get in there, rat in the tunnel, set that thing up, and now into a 2v2. Very manageable.
Yeah, it was a close call there for both of them, but Crymate going to be the last one alive. See if they can hold it this time. You know, 1v2s haven't gone the way of Iowa State thus far. Again, automatic rushes are always a little bit difficult. Look at the timing coming through, though. Crymate misses the shots. It's a whiff. Oh, finds it again on the last
Wow,
one.
Sway, maybe not expecting the re-engage or thinking maybe the door was closed or something, but honestly, very, very weird play. Crymate going to be happy with that one, though. Now on to a 4 streak, and KMC did pick up the bomb. Not going to get the plant, though. Going to get spotted, and Crymate will find the kill. Now up to, I believe, a 5 streak in Iowa State. Hanging in there now. Going to be 2-2.
Yeah, just a little bit of an unfortunate timing there on both sort of kills there picked up. Crymate just had the download. You can see here just just trying to move as quickly as possible to get off of that point and get out of the line of fire, but basically just running right into Crymate there. Yeah,
that was a tough one, and Sway going down as well. That one really hurt. You get shot, you kind of get the info, you know, you like start to get that health regen back to full, and immediately you get re-engaged, you get swung on, and you end up falling there. And now the side of the Saints, they're going to try to find these frags. Once again, KMC and Sway got most of the kills here. Once, you know, they're going to try to even these out a little bit, try to get people on the board as easily as possible here, but James, you over the middle. It's going to get tagged up by the stun. Has a pretty good angle on Daly here should they end up swinging, but not going to commit. Just going to fall back and not risk losing that first blood again.
And look at this, though. Crymate. Oh, the timing just missed there from Sway. I think they would have caught that timing onto Crymate there, but now they see all the guns, the grenades flying out. Able to get timing on it, but once again, a little bit of a slower start here. And, you know, for the side of Iowa State, this is a little bit abnormal because they've been the ones to really push the tempo.
I think that them seeing it's 2-2 and realizing, okay, if St. Clair finally reads that backline play, it could end up us losing 2 players to start off the round, and we don't really want to lose the lead in this game right now. So 2v2, both teams just content to hunker down here and try to wait out the other one. But Iowa State does have to eventually try to find a plant here. Great job by Sway to cut that corner. Gonna cut off Crymate as well. So now they're gonna have the numbers advantage, and Iowa State still has to find somewhere to put that bomb.
It was so strange. We had dead silence there for like 15 seconds or so, but now St. Clair is starting to execute on their game plan, just really preventing anything from coming through. Gailey taking a lot of damage there already, down to half health. Gonna get cut down, and they have a bomb as well. They've got eyes on
nice
it.
Chicken too. You see that chicken in front of the bomb?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great little shot there, actually, but Saints are going to walk away with that round nonetheless. Just a funny little anecdote there, but they are going to take the round there. GMG is going to find the last kill, so great job to get on the board there, read that play perfectly, and the Saints do a great job of just closing off Iowa State there.
Yeah, and I think the slower, more methodical rounds are really going in favor of St. Clair. I think they got that read on Crymate sort of pushes through, you know, 3 first bloods. It felt like in a row there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Crymate's the one who's getting first blood, and that really changes the momentum. That's really what's important here, and we'll have to see if they can continue that trend. Of course, with the way S&D works, it's kind of hard to get momentum because you always have to switch sides.
Yeah, and the start-stop, it's really tough to, kind of get in that flow. And running around in hard point when it's like a consistent 8-minute game, you can kind of get into that flow state, kind of get things going, search, stop, start, switch sides. And for the Saints, honestly, if they're able to shut down Crymate, I have a pretty good feeling they'll be able to take the round, or at least, heavily swing it in their favor. Crymate outplaying has been a huge reason they've won these rounds. KMC, here's something. Gonna see the toes and gonna find Daly there on the backside of those barrels, but it's gonna trade, and Sway will be there for that trade, so they are great job by the Saints. They know Crymate finds that pick right immediately there to trade it out, and now They have a 2v2, and they do have the bomb in hand, or 3v2 rather.
Yeah, they're going to get this plant down as well, so putting the side of I-State on a timer for the first time, actually, all game here.
Yeah.
It feels like. We'll see if they can find anything else. Of course, with that extra person advantage, they can just sort of spread out, take as many angles as possible. You can see here, Verbose trying to come around the back here. It's a little bit of a flank play on both sides, but I don't know if that is the right solution. Look at this placement, though.
Yeah, Saints are going to play audio, but Verbose is going to drop off Koala there, so now into the 2v2, and once again, both teams just trying to info reader now Patty. Gonna take off that angle, not gonna hold it just quite yet. GMG pretty much shoulder to shoulder with two members of Iowa State. I don't know if they heard the defuse, but it's gonna be halfway. Finally gonna check it, is gonna find that kill, so massive kill for the Saints, and now there's just not enough time. So this is going to be a round for the Saints. They will find that last kill as well, so Ninja defuse almost coming through, but not gonna quite make it in the Saints, you know. A little bit of a scary one, but they walk away with it.
Yeah, it looks like they might have had some sort of timing on that, you know, just saying, hey, you know, this takes 7 seconds to defuse. We're just going to keep checking it every, 6-7 seconds, make sure nothing's going on. Might have just missed the beat there, and someone missed their turn, you know. Somebody's like, yeah, no, your turn, my turn.
I was supposed to count. I was like, oh, and then, yeah, I was definitely a little close for comfort, but the Saints gonna feel good about that one. A couple members on 8 frags here. Sway is gonna be on that 4 streak. They were able to shut down Crimeate's streak as well, so the Saints could be feeling pretty good here now. See if they can lock down this defense and set up the game point.
Once again, really going to be about shutting down Crimeate early on in these rounds. There you go, but it's traded back instantly.
Yeah, every single round that Crimeate has gotten to kill, it's had to be the immediate trade, and honestly, good for the Saints. That guy has been an absolute thorn in Saints' side so far, so take out the top frag, you know, try to cut off the resources and work your way down from there. And the Saints now, 3v3, just, you know, trying to post up on this defensive hold.
Of course, defense just a little bit more passive in that sense. You know, you don't need to force anything in that regard. I mean, Crimeate's been the one to sort of change that tempo.
Yeah.
As you can see for Iowa State, you know, 9 out of their 14 frags total there. You know, really sort of carrying that weight, but at the same time, you can see by St. Clair, you know, spreading out a little bit more here, GMG on a streak as well, and just holding angles, waiting, biding their time, seeing what Iowa State want to sort of push off of to get that next frag, get that bomb down. But I think they're actually going to get a little bit of a ninja plant here today.
Sway maybe got a little audio cue there, but they are going to get the plant off nonetheless, so now we'll have to see what kind of engage comes through. Sway is going to find the swing. Thought maybe he was going to go for the melee, but just going to get the shot in the back there. Is going to find the kill, so great start. Going to swing courtyard and find a second kill there. Now onto a 3v1 and all onto Patty. Going to try to hold that plant, but not going to be looking good. GMG will find that last kill, and the Saints, Sway got a 6 streak in the bag, and now they're on game point.
So having a really strong sort of second half of this game after it was mostly K in the first little bit there, but Sway really stepping it up now and having a little bit of fun with it now, you know, up 5-2 themselves on game point here, and we'll see if St. Clair are able to close the door here, if I-State have anything else up their sleeves.
Yeah, I believe St. Clair will be on the attacking side, assuming they switch every time here, so we'll have to see if they want to be that, you know, play a super aggressive style, if they want to try to go for this rush plan, or if they just want to, you know, do what they've been doing, sit back, try to find that first pick, make sure Crimeate gets traded out. That's one of the key points, red star that one, but I think they got to be feeling pretty good about this one, and obviously I think they'll just try to play safe and try to ride this one out to the win here.
Basically just trying to close the door as quickly as possible. You don't want to give any sort of opportunities, and it really shows your dominance if you are able to get all these victories as quickly as possible in that sense. But as far as holding some angles for now, nothing too crazy erupting, but you can see just sort of spread out attack, looking for anyone, trying to pick anyone off, and as you can see,
once again,
it's Crimeate. Every single time. Oh my.
Wow, Crimeate gonna swing that one wide. Or Sway is gonna find the kill. Let's see the glide bomb in action now. Is Sway gonna be able to find anything? It looks like they will be able to. They are gonna find the kill on Verboso. Phenomenal job to bank that streak, put it to good use, and now onto a 2v1. Looks like KMC gonna find that headshot. So more than likely, it will be the Saints taking it. Although we are down to a 2v1. Saints do get the plant though, so we'll have to see how it plays out now.
Yeah, Dilly gonna need a little bit of a miracle here. Has been struggling for most of this map, but you know, never say never in that regard. Trying to find where it is first. I don't think they've spotted anyone out, and you know, lots of footsteps it feels like coming through. But once again, just everyone starts to cut noise. Yeah,
this is a really tough spot to be if you're Daily. Not gonna find that headshot. Recoil gonna be a little bit too much there. St. Clair gonna take back-to-back bocages here. They're gonna be up 2-0, and now they're gonna look to move on to match point going into the next map.
Yeah, looked really dominant as well. They sort of righted their ship there once they realized what Crimeate was going to do every single round. They were sort of able to set themselves right, get themselves in a more advantageous position. And once again, you know, Sway just really showing up here, really showing why they are. They're always consistent performers near the top there.
Yeah, we saw Crimeate was pretty much, once they figured out we should just trade this person and not even, like, they're going to pop off. We're just going to worry about the trade and try to take them out of the round. Then I feel like they had a lot more success there, especially as the rounds went on. I think, it was 2-2 to start. 6-2 as the final. You're feeling pretty good about that one, taking a bunch of rounds in a row. So once again, though, we are going to head it back to a very, very quick break. We're going to have map 3 on the other side. The Saints up 2-0 on Iowa State, trying to close things out just after the break.
To go on the attack here, always interesting to see the differing strategies at this, of course. On a map like Bocage, it's pretty standard, you know.
Yeah, there's only, on most of the maps, there's usually like 1 or 2 plant spots. The game it lacks creativity, but, you know, it's about like getting down the system and being efficient within the few systems that are in the game. And the Saints, you know, can see exactly what you said. What kind of strategy they want to go for that rush plant, just try to find those frags or what they will have in mind here. But they are going to run up on A really early, but great angle through Crime thing up and now into a 2v2, very manageable.
Yeah, it was a close call there for both of them, but Crymate going to be the last one alive. How St. Clair up to go on the attack here. Always interesting to see the differing strategies at this, of course. On a map like Bocage, it's pretty standard, you know.
Yeah, there's only, on most of the maps, there's usually like 1 or 2 plant spots. The game it lacks creativity, but, you know, it's about like getting down the system and being efficient within the few systems that are in the game. And the Saints, you know, can see exactly what you said. What kind of strategy they want to go for that rush plant, just try to find those frags or what they will have in mind here. But they are going to run up on A really early, but great angle through Crime thing up and now into a 2v2, very manageable.
Yeah, it was a close call there for both of them, but Crymate going to be the last one alive. See if they can hold it this time. You know, 1v2s haven't gone the way of I-State thus far. Again, automatic rushes are always a little bit difficult. Look at the timing coming through, though. Crymate misses the shots. It's a whiff. Oh, finds it again on the last.
Wow, Sway, maybe not expecting the re-engage or thinking maybe the door was closed or something, but honestly, very, very weird play. Crymate gonna be happy with that one, though. Now on to a 4 streak, in KMC did pick up the bomb. Not going to get the plant, though. Going to get spotted. And Crymate...
Again, a little bit of a slower start here, you know, for the side of Iowa State. This is a little bit abnormal because they've been the ones to really push the tempo.
I think that them seeing it's 2-2 and realizing, okay, if St. Clair finally reads that backline play, it could end up us losing 2 players to start off the round, and we don't really want to lose the lead in this game right now. So 2v2, both teams just content to hunker down here and try to wait out the other one. But Iowa State does have to eventually try to find a plant here. Great job by Sway to cut that corner. Going to cut off Crymate as well, so now they're going to have the numbers advantage, and Iowa State still has to find somebody.
That trend, of course, with the way S&D works, it's kind of hard to get momentum because you always have to switch sides.
Yeah, and the start-stop, it's really tough to, you know, kind of get in that flow. And yeah, running around in hard point when it's like a consistent 8-minute game, you can kind of get into that flow state, kind of get things going, search, you know, stop, start, switch sides. And for the Saints, honestly, if they're able to shut down Crymate, I have a pretty good feeling they'll be able to take the round, or at least, you know, heavily swing it in their favor. Crymate outplaying has been a huge reason they've won these rounds. KMC, here's something. Gonna see the toes and gonna find Daly there on the backside of those barrels.
You know, spreading out a little bit more here, GMG on a streak as well, and just holding angles, waiting, biding their time, seeing what Iowa State want to sort of push off of to get that next frag, get that bomb down. But I think they're actually going to get a little bit of a ninja plant here today.
Sway maybe got a little audio cue there, but they are going to get the plant off nonetheless. So now we'll have to see what kind of engage comes through. Sway is going to find the swing. Thought maybe he was going to go for the melee, but just going to get the shot in the back there. Is going to find the kill. So great start. Going to swing courtyard and find a second kill there now. On
how St. Clair up to go on the attack here. Always interesting to see the differing strategies at this, of course. On a map like Bocage, it's pretty standard, you know.
Yeah, there's only, on most of the maps, there's usually like 1 or 2 plant spots. The game it lacks creativity, but, you know, it's about like getting down the system and being efficient within the few systems that are in the game. And the Saints, you know, can see exactly what you said. What kind of strategy they want to go for that rush plant, just try to find those frags or what they will have in mind here. But they are going to run up on A really early, but great angle through Crime thing up and now into a 2v2, very manageable. And we are back. Going to be match point. St. Clair Saints Academy Call of Duty going to be taking on Iowa State University. Currently holding a 2-0 lead. Both wins coming on Bocage, both Hardpoint and Search and Destroy. Now, Tuscan Control will be the battlefield for potentially the final match of the evening.
Of course, first time we're seeing this map today, but already off to a roaring start are the Academy boys. 3 in a row already there. Multi-kill for GMG.
Yeah, oh baby, a triple. GMG gonna open things up. Sway laying in the corner, gonna find a beautiful spray sensor. Turns and finds 3. Sway turning and burning around every corner. The Saints gonna find a ton of frags. There's one more for KMC as well. Sway gonna get the assist, so the Saints are out and firing to kick off this control.
Yeah, perfect swing around there. Call it the Sway if you want to. And up 3, 4 in a row now on these streaks, and already just they're coming through in full force here. GMG sort of the one minute. Oh,
Kobe.
Never mind. But cast occurs every single time.
I mean, listen, the Saints at this point, you can tell they want a 3-0. This is a team that coming out playing this aggressive, finding these kills. GMG once again going to find a couple. So all those search and destroy struggles they had in the first half seem to have gone away pretty quickly here in the Saints. They are firing on all cylinders, only having 3 deaths this game so far.
Yeah, we say that as they drop another one there, but of course traded out already. As you can see, already half of the lives taken off the side of I-State as now Lost control starting to get rested back here, but my goodness, it is just so breakneck how quickly they're finding these frags and starting to turn it into the death match that we sort of always bring control to be. You know, eventually it gets to a point where you can't really keep up, and even if you're making progress at B here, that extra minute and a bit, that's just giving more time for St. Clair to clean up the rest of the lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Saints are more than happy to they'd probably even let B go at this point. They probably want to keep the flawless, the golden victory, but I would suspect they'd even be willing to let one of these points go because they know they're gonna find these frags. Only 3 respawns, now gonna be down to 2 for Iowa State, so 2 respawns in the bag. The Saints have 19. Now Iowa State gonna be down to just 5 lives total. The Saints, they still have Sway and Koala. I don't want to curse it, but 0 deaths.
Yeah, they're holding their own right now, just building up those streaks over time. I mean, K took a couple of deaths there, but then was able to just get right back up on it and Sway 8-0 already here. My goodness, this is domination coming through from the side of the St. Clair Academy.
Yeah, Crymate trying his best to keep that game in check here, but St. Clair, they're going to wash away that first round there. That is about as convincing a round as you can have. And I think Sway, or I can't remember who it was, still on an 8 kill streak if I'm not mistaken. So there should be a little special surprise in the back pocket for St. Clair.
Oh yeah, I mean, they'll just be able to pick up another couple for themselves if at that. And on the flip side, you know, Crymate doing what they can, but it's just not enough. And every single time, it just seems like the Saints pushing themselves as quickly as possible and just picking up as many frags as possible. Let's see what Sway's able to do this round, because every single time it always seems like they've got something up their sleeve.
Yeah, that was the same thing with last week. I feel like we're calling Sway's name every 15 seconds. For one player or another is going to find that first frag daily. Just struggling to get it going this game. Going to be off to an 0-9 start, so not ideally the start what you want for Iowa State. And now Koala going to find another pick. GMG with a beautiful trade. Verbose going to get Iowa State's first kill of the round there. But St. Clair, they're already going to pretty much take all of A, and they're taking B progress at this exact same time. So they're going to go for these objective wins, which, as you said, we don't normally see in Control. It usually devolves into TDM.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just the St. Clair can do whatever they want. They can get all these kills while just standing on the points without any resistance the other way. You can see 2 ticks already collected on that A point, not going to quite finish it up, but look at what they're doing on B side, able to get, 2 ticks there as well.
Sway up to 10, and no, I want to see how long. We already cursed it. We already said he was at 0 deaths, so I'm curious to see how long that streak is going to survive, just trying to hold this middle courtyard area. The Saints have a massive frag lead as well. Daly is going to finally get on the board there, going to find the first frag of the day for this game, so take down Koala. Now Crymate going to spin the corner, taking out Sway, and GMG going to find a couple. And the Saints, they're going to sneakily capture both zones there, and they are going to absolutely wash the second round.
That was the most dominant round I think we've had there. You can just see GMG picking out that last one. 1,700 damage already.
Yeah, that's
over 2 rounds. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, the Saints, despite the fact they took those objectives, they were fragging very, very hard in that game. They're finding kills left and right. Just look at the score lines for both teams, and you can suspect who's probably in the driver's seat of this one. You're gonna have KMC 11-3, Sway still unkillable in this game, 11-0. GMG 16-6 with that crazy triple to start, and Koala holding it down there at 6-3, which is still super, super solid for her, considering how fast his games have gone.
Yeah. There we go. Crymate gets first blood in this.
This
video. I mean, they just gotten all 11 of their kills off of objectives as well, so you can see Sway just running around the map trying to find anything they can. But GMG, KMC still holding these streaks in their back pocket. I-State making a little bit more progress this time around, though, keeping it a little bit closer. Yeah, they're finding some of these frags. Patty with a nice little double is going to find a third there on Koala, so Iowa State, finally biting back here. They're going to find a couple streaks, possibly trying to get some stuff going here. Patty still holding it down in this building, will finally get that streak taken out, so not going to be able to build anything in the Saints. Looks like Iowa State actually should be able to get A control, barring some sort of absolute meltdown here. They will end up controlling A, so now 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They do have a slight lives advantage as well, so they're looking pretty good in this round. Yeah, of course, B side significantly harder to take from what we've seen, so we'll have to see if they're able to sort of break the line at that. But of course, lives may end up being a concern with how much time there is left on this clock with the objective timer. Crymate able to find another one in return, and yeah, seems like I-State is starting to fight back a little bit more, after how dominant that last round was. Maybe they're saying, no, we're just going to get back on this defense. We're going to get back. Yeah, that's the great thing. If you can chip these lives down, you can start to control the point. Patty going to find a couple and get team killed by Crymate there. We're going to hear a glide bomb from above. Will we end up finding any kills? We are. Sway going to drop it right on Verbosa's head there to find that kill. Try to keep that point clear as long as possible, in the Saints, they're going to try to hold the objective, but the thing is, they are down in lives, so you have to kind of throw yourself at that B site to try to save it. At the same time, though, you don't want to end up losing out on lives too early when you maybe could have controlled the point. Yeah, and I think you can see here they're just sort of playing off the point a little bit, playing a little bit more aggressive to find some of these frags to get back in the live lead here. Now only down by 4. It's starting to get a little bit closer, starting to get a little tight for the side of I-State as they feel forced to make something happen here. They're forced to go towards this deathmatch sort of situation because getting in control on B site not working out in their favor.
Yeah, the Saints now, as we said, it was about a 7 live advantage. Now it is down to 3. The Saints getting a lot of these 2-for-1s. Yet another kill for KMC going to go through. So now it's getting pretty close, and that can be a lot of pressure for Iowa State, especially having that big lead and now having it chipped all the way down, not having a single B tick yet. So although you still have a very, very slight lead, this is definitely still a coin flip match. And now we're only down to 60 seconds.
Of course, as it goes on, it's going to be so much more pressure on the side of I-State as well to sort of close the door at this. Still just a 1 live gap. It's evened up. Oh, man. Saints are pushing back real hard here.
Both teams down to 10 now. GMG running through these buildings, trying to find something. Crymate trying to find something as well. GMG actually is going to find Daly there, so up to 20 kills now. Sway and GMG got 20 frags at this point, so great job by them so far to keep things down. Patty, great job on the flank, not going to land the shots. They need to find that kill, and GMG is going to find the kill. Sway still trying to hold this cross, going to get tagged up by the stun there. Now the frag should come through. That should be able to find a kill, I believe. Oh, going to get run up on, though, and is going to find the kill. GMG, no regard for life, is going to walk up, and now the Saints, they have the live lead and 15 seconds to play.
And at this point, it's just, there's no chance of control here,
Yeah.
One respawn, no respawns left, as we pop over to that. And there's just the momentum every single time. Saints are just continuously picking up more and more and more. And while there is a little bit of a contest here on this B point, not a whole lot of time left. And GMG just popping off on this map here. We talked about Sway off the top, but GMG's picking up every single kill that they need.
Yeah, that's how you can tell the team is very deep when we call Sway and KMC the first 2 matches, then all of a sudden GMG opens this matchup with, I believe, a triple or a quadra kill, and immediately from there just snowballs, gets to near that 25 frag mark, in the Saints pretty dominating 3-0 victory, and they're going to move to 3-1 in NACE Star League to start the season off, but I believe they will qualify for the playoffs with this win. Used to October being early season, so
yeah, a little bit interesting to have the season be so short, but of course with COD games, flipping in and out as quickly as they are is expected in that regard. But of course we'll have to see what actually happened. We don't know if they've qualified quite yet. We'll find out, of course, over the course of the next little bit. But definitely a very strong performance from the Academy team. Thus far, a great night for St. Clair Esports, because it seems like everyone's winning at that.
Yeah, and KMC 1-0 in predictions so far. So as often as we can, we'll get the predictions from one of the players and see how long they can match up. But as I said, pretty sure they're going to qualify for at least like the playoffs, starting off 3-1 in what I assume will be a shortened season. I would imagine that gets you in a pretty good spot, especially I'm guessing they were a decent seed coming in. So excellent job by them. Iowa State is going to fall to 1-3 in NACE Star League, so the Saints, they're going to feel really good about that one. Try to take that momentum, keep rolling on in the different leagues here.
Of course, and of course here on the broadcast as well, we've got to keep rolling on with the rest of our week. With 1 day finished with COD, we still got a lot left on the docket here. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to actually have League of Legends from NACE Star League actually against Shenandoah University. Of course, Fridays are for Rocket League and CSGO. You get the good old double header, and nothing quite yet for the weekend. Might be something coming up, but nonetheless, we've got Monday COD and Valorant coming up as well. Very curious to see how all the teams do across the titles, because honestly, thus far throughout the season, there's been nothing but impressive performances coming through from all of our teams here at St. Clair.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that the COD team was on there cruising to a 3-0, but the league team was looking pretty damn good when we walked out of the Nexus. So every single team, the league ended up 2-0ing as well. So both teams, all 3 teams actually today getting in the win column, and as we said, 5 different titles for like 4 or 5 different days. So really good mix. Any kind of game you want to tune in, any kind of player you want to spotlight, should be able to find something in those next few days coming in the next week. And as you said, very, very impressive start to every single team this season.
It's been really fun to watch them. It's been fun to be able to bring that broadcast as well to everyone at home as well. But most part, that